play the role, to fulfill what they call the mission, that is to provide a reasonable accommodation, housing accommodation to Malaysian citizens.
So you just mentioned the low-cost houses that the government is thinking about increasing it.
Well, not the government is thinking. Now, you see, for every low-cost unit built by the government through my ministry, if it is for sale, there are two types, two categories, right? One is for sale. That means in areas where the rakyat, has got the income is not that high, they can't afford to buy. That means they rent to stay in the unit at 134 ringgit a month. In certain areas where the rakyat can afford to buy, where the price is only at 35,000 ringgit today, no? And this has been there for some time already. This price has been fixed at this amount. You know how much to build a unit of a 700 square feet apartment? 700 square feet apartment, 3 rooms, 2 baths, the lounge, family lounge, kitchen, plus a drying yard. Average, the cheapest is 140,000 to 150,000. And you will be asking, why so much? You know why? Because nowadays, you make sure that if the government wants to build houses for the rakyat, even though they come from a low-income family, we cannot just build a box and then throw it to them and say, you stay there. We cannot. Now, this government is responsible enough. We want to make sure that we build a house, a home for them. Not a house, a home, where the flooring is no longer cement rendered. It is all tile, and in the bathroom all tile up to this height, 7 feet. You know, so it's a very comfortable one. And then in the whole vicinity of this so-called village, you have a hall, you have a surau, you have also this what they call a place for people to for recreational activities, and you also have a few shops, plus 1.2 car parks per unit. 1.2 means what? 1.2 means every unit there is 1 car park, and every 5 units additional one. 1.2. So you know it's not cheap and all that. So maybe it's about time we look at it realistically, to see whether 35,000 will still hold or not. Not necessarily we're going to increase, not necessarily. We're going to kaji lah. Di kaji kita nak bincang tengok sama ada RM35,000 ini masih memadai hari ini harga dia. That's all.
On the DPMM project in Johor, how much is it going to cost DPMM to construct? Okay.
You mean now?
Yes, a rough ballpark.
Well, at the moment, we have a very regular meeting with our consultants and contractors. At the moment, the moment is just 2 weeks ago, our consultant and our contractors feedback. Of course, Johor is the most expensive. I mentioned about sand, the most expensive in the country. I think we still below 200,000.
But
the cost about 180, 160, 170.
For the whole project?
One unit. One project of 300. So that, yes, a minimum of 300. If less will be, rule of the thumb.
So 180,000
per unit, including land.
Including land.
We are also land mean very not nominal but fair rent. We have a formula we thought we should pay the government, because this land is our land long time ago. So now this land we got 20 years ago in fact. But now the project comes along, we thought we have 10 acres. So 3.5 acres, we can have 230 houses, sorry, 230 for the 3.5 acres. So on that one, we can still build it today below 180,000. So we said 200,000.
When the target completion date?
I suppose 20 months, 2 years. But
24 months lah.
Of course, but then of course we formed the company, as you know, Dewan Perumahan Berhad,
Yeah.
Of course, I did not announce because we have no license yet.
No, tak
But
apa.
those
You can
girls-
announce. You can announce the company.
Yes.
But you
yeah,
don't have a license
I must
yet.
be very careful on that. So, but Dr. Sri has kind enough said he will support. So we've done. Dr. Aludin will be in charge on submitting the application and all that. We should be. I think within by the end of the we should be within 3-4 months more. We should.
A company is born, but it's not a developer yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't
But
got
when
a
will
license.
development and actual construction start?
Well, I suppose we can start anytime as long as once we have the land is ready. We'll be submitting now. As you know, we are appointing next week. Besides the 2 awards, we have 2 more architects, of course. So we will then proceed within 60 days from today. We should be able, and then hopefully within this year we should start. Yeah, by August.
By August, construction.
Hopefully, hopefully before just Hari Raya.
No.
That is August.
Where exactly is the land?
The land is Uda, Taman Uda, the area, Uda area.
It's going to be leasehold.
It's a leasehold. Well, hopefully will the government give us freehold. Again, good point. Yes, good point. Why not? In fact, it is the trend now for the state government to give freehold. Uda, for example, all must freehold. The freehold, okay? So I think why not? But the moment I must tell you it's 99 lease, why not? You can always ask the government. I think no problem on that one.
It's Uda.
Uda Utama. Yeah, my deputy is here. He's really in charge on this. We had a very good experience in Johor. As you know, we were the first swasta, and in fact the government also. We were the first to do the medium cost 35 years ago. 1,300 houses, 340,000, 1,340, 40 shops, all sold at cost price. Almost, it is cost price.
This is considered a private venture?
It is private venture.
Not an NGO.
It is private venture. NGO, chamber form the company. Of course, you must have a company.
Yeah.
And then the landmark from the government.
The company under the auspices of the chamber.
I must inform you, the land was given to us by Tan Sri Mahyudin, the Deputy Prime Minister when he was Menteri Besar Johor. Please make a note. You must thank him also.
Yeah,
I think I forgot to cut. I think they will be sending me a white. Tan Sri Mahyudin was the Menteri Besar Johor. He gave us the land 1993. But of course, we keep quiet. We thought there's no agency.
Yeah.
We thought to be want to be a shop, want to be all kinds of things. But today, there's a lot of pressure. Why not? So the 10 acres, we will build roughly about 600 units. 600 units. Yeah.
How nice if it's in KL, isn't it?
Well, there you are. The state government or climb or and we will. Huh?
First phase.
First phase. Yes.
So start off in Johor and eventually branch out to other states.
Now we have written all to the Menteri Besar, all the Menteri Besar.
Yeah.
And I think 1/3 of the states have responded. We are talking now. But well, depends. If the state give us nominal, again that's nominal. If the government say, well, you have to pay, you have to pay. We will sell at cost. And cost plus, as the Sri has said, will make maybe a little for you. Why not? You should not follow the chamber, make 10%. So 30% will be non-drop, as we did in Johor before. Yes, hopefully. All right. And our consultants, I must thank the consultants also, has already agreed to us. We will give a 50% discount on the consultant fees. That's another. So we are selecting this consultant, the engineers, architect. We have in the chamber today 1,300 members, consultants in the chamber today, because of the enlargement of the association. So that helps a lot.
Also the Kedah
And also every
state,
every state ada. And contractors also have told me, they said, look, well, of course, you cannot say cost plus, but you must, contractors also will give a discount on construction. That all will cut, Of course, we have to monitor how much they really cost. So we'll drop the building material will help them and build bulk. That helps them, small contractor, class F. We have today lined up about 400 contractors ready to build our program. 400 of them. So this,
Sorry, how many private ventures like that build houses? How many houses have you built through this kind of
You mean without making profits? Without making profits?
or medium and low cost houses?
No. Other than the government agencies, I don't think there's any company or any organization that build houses without making profits.
So this is the first one?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
should.
Dr. Sri,
You see, if they build and do not make profit, if houses are sold to the members, it's different. This one they are sold to the public. You see, sold to the public. I cannot think of any organization or company that has done that. Yes?
That's right. A survey done by the propertyguru.com state that 75% of Asians think that our housing price is very high, and the current government measure or policy like Prima doesn't help enough. So we recommend this.
Yes, I do accept the fact that the prices in Malaysia, within Malaysian context, is getting higher and higher. Okay, in view of the fact that land is getting very scarce, and then you know the materials and everything have gone up. Okay, but when you look at it, comparing to a larger picture context, in Asia, the prices in KL is still affordable. Not for Malaysians, but when you look at it, in the entire region as a whole, compared to other cities. Of course, this is no excuse that we should not build houses for our citizens who are lesser off, who are not able to buy houses these days. You know? So that's why you see, now there is also another trend, there is also another worry that foreigners are now coming in to buy houses, because our price is only 500,000 and below they cannot touch. Where got houses these days 500,000 and below? All upwards. So another issue is whether this 500,000 ringgit ruling prohibiting foreigners to buy houses below this amount should be reviewed or not. You know? Because I heard Singapore now is also getting very strict, you know, where foreigners cannot buy landed houses now except condos and all that. So maybe we should look at it, you know. But Prima is doing a good job now, although they still have a long way to go, because the demand outstrip the supply many times. So we have to work together to build more houses. And hopefully organizations like DPMM will come in. I always tell developers, you want to make profits, fine. That's your absolute right. But also don't forget that help the government or work with the government to build houses which the prices are considered reasonable enough. And you know, another thing is, I've also been asked, why you can't follow Singapore? Singapore, the housing board is doing so well. It's building all the houses for the citizens. You see, the system in Singapore and Malaysia is different. Our land law is different, Singapore land law is different. In Singapore, the government owns most of the land. They even, like in Hong Kong, they even, offer to the developers at the tender price. You come and tender, you buy, and then you build. You are a private developer. Whereas here, the land is under the jurisdiction of the state government. Of course, federal government owns land as well. That is why federal government now is using the government-owned land, federal government-owned land for Prima to build. But then you can't, it's not the entire state of Selangor. The land owned by the federal government is limited, you see. That is this problem. So that's why instead of using the one common housing board, we use the 2-3-prong policy. Prima, my ministry, SPNB. Okay? And then of course outside help like NDPMM. You must understand what I say, after I don't know the right or wrong thing. The day, I was in Kuantan, I said 1,200 over developers have been blacklisted. And they cannot build anymore, no license will be given out to them unless they make good the schemes they have left behind. Okay? And I said, well, then somebody asked, what about build and sell? I said, build and sell 2015. We will start lah, that is the policy date. Next day in the paper I saw 1,200 over developers cannot build houses until 2015. So silap lah sikit. So I want to, maybe it's a good also for me, I don't know whether it's a good time to do this, pembetulan or not. 1,200 over developers have been blacklisted. Once a developer has been blacklisted, The same goes for the board of directors as well. Every single one is also blacklisted. So 1,250 over companies with 4,500 over directors, all blacklisted. That means they cannot, no one, this director cannot say, quietly go and form with another friend, a company to build. The minute you apply, the board of directors, they look into the record, ini blacklisted, straight away we tolak. So they have to make good lah. Assuming they develop 3 schemes, 3 projects, all abundant, make sure that you go back and finish them, give it to the purchaser, and then come back to us, we will give you a license. That's it,
But
simple.
what if they use like family names or relatives names?
Of course, that one we got no choice lah, you know. I mean, we cannot leave the will until the very end. Okay?
那所以可以用华语讲一遍吗？
华语啊，
就刚刚你刚才回答他那个问题的，
哪一个问题
重新探讨这个
谁在弄？
property 和.com 的。
哦，当然我们同意，在今天马来西亚，物价那么越来越高，那么使到很多我们